First set, Robin Montgomery to serve. Ready? Play.
I noticed Russell, even in the warm-up, I haven't seen Robin play a whole lot, but she seemed so stable when she was in that warm-up process. And this final backhand, she has to, the footwork, the little steps that she actually arrived at the point of contact and generated lots of pace with little effort.
You'll notice, Mark, because I called the girls singles championship, is Montgomery will hit a few double faults because she doesn't hit a lot of kick on her second serve. It's almost like a slower version of her first serve, so it's sliced and doesn't get a lot of height over the net.
Margins are low, but probably picking up a lot of cheap points because of the pace of the court.
Yep, and when she hits her spots, absolutely the ball will skid, and it'll skid right into a right-hander's backhand most of the time.
And the value on a key point right now at 15-30. See if she does use this swinging left-handed serve wide.
Interesting that she didn't, and Kruger looked like she had the move and then hesitated.
15-40.
Big smiles from the side of Brantmeier and Kalieva. Break to open things up here on court 12 in the girls doubles championship match. And as you might expect, all of these girls have had great success in the junior circuit. Ashlyn Krueger, Robin Montgomery's partner, won back-to-back Orange Bowl championships in the 16s and then 18s. Last person to do that was a girl named Bianca Andrescu, who's done fairly well for herself since that time. Kalieva won the Orange Bowl in the 14s back in 2017. This will be Reese Brantmeier from Cold Spring, Wisconsin.
Well, encouraging signs on that first point to see the serve and volley routine on display. A colleague of ours, Luke Jensen, who's here commentating as well, he had worked with a college team and girls college team and was asking them to serve and volley on both.
15-0.
I think focus on that first serve, to ask them to continually serve and volley. Felt that that was really a way of them improving their game as opposed to serving and staying back and reacting.
For having these juniors around the pros all the time is to see how the pros prepare and how they play. And I'll tell you, anyone who's watched the women's doubles so far at the US Open, it's the teams that have moved forward the best that have advanced, and we have two very good attacking teams in the women's final tomorrow. That's a little bit too much heat for Kalieva to handle. Sam Stozer and Shui Zhang will be taking on the youngsters, McCoco, Coco Goff and Katie McNally, and all four of those players have really no problem moving forward.
30-40.
So 2 more break chances coming the way of Kruger and Montgomery. Remember, should this get to deuce, we have a deciding point, and the receiving team gets to choose. That was a big return
Kruger,
from
Montgomery.
Kruger. So back-to-back breaks to open the match.
1 game all per set.
So it's a pacey first delivery. So
108, yeah.
Yep, Kruger being able to pick
Ashlyn
it
Krueger
and
to serve.
certainly struck it out the middle of her racket.
15 love. Out. 15 all.
I think that says it all.
Few deep breaths. It happens. That's I think the idea though of being up at net is, as much as we all love to hit those volleys, it's difficult to expect 100% record when you're up there.
Out.
I think just the sheer presence that she is up at net
30-15.
there. She picked the volley, just mistimed it.
Do you have to develop a thick skin when you're at the net to, you know, kind of shrug off those mistakes? Because you have to keep moving forward, right? Otherwise, defeats the purpose. But it's got to be hard, right? Especially early.
It's a very good point to discuss, that the fact that you come into net and sometimes it feels like, oh, you've got a very thin skin and you lose a point and it's worth 4 points. It is still only 1 point, but it's about building pressure. Almost reflexing the volley back there, Robin Montgomery. Now up to her partner, Ashlyn Krueger. See if she can find a first serve into the corner.
This time it was Kalieva's turn.
Deciding point, receiver's choice.
So far we've seen players making the right moves but failing to finish. Maybe a little nerves early in this championship match. It's going to be the youngster, Brantmeier, taking the return in the ad court here. This is a deciding point, game point, break point. Oh, God, Robin Montgomery absorbed so much. The reflexes were tremendous, but just not enough in the end.
Were they ever? Quick hands. Not a lot of time to react. You're ready. The racket is back to neutral position.
Kalieva finally got it in a spot where Montgomery couldn't get her racket on it. And it's 2-1 in the first.
Love 30. Love Serve 40.
More break points coming the way of Kruger and Montgomery, looking for a fourth straight break to even this first set at 2 apiece. We've got 3 17-year-olds and an 18-year-old on this court. Got an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old playing on Arthur Ashe Stadium right now for the big trophy in the women's final. And there it is, a fourth straight break. It's 2-all to start things off here in the Junior Girls Doubles Championship match. And you can stay connected to the U.S. Open on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube by joining the conversation with the hashtag U.S. Open. This is the perfect weekend for it. It is championship weekend in New York, handing out the trophies. The girls and boys singles titles and the boys doubles title have already been decided, and here we go with the girls doubles title and the women's singles championship matches going on as well. The first time we've seen the I formation from Montgomery and Kruger.
And just a solid positional serve. You don't have to over serve in doubles. I don't think there's quite often singles players, when they come onto the doubles court, they're trying to thunder down that first delivery.
30 love.
There's another accurate serve by Montgomery. But if you're searching for about 80% pace, if you can get it that close to the lines, I think you're certainly going to be rewarded.
It's 80% pace. They're close to 80% on first serve percentage, are Kruger and Montgomery. And you would think that'll start to be paid off on the scoreboard. What I find interesting, having done the girls singles championship, is that Montgomery's serving a lot more to the forehands in doubles here. In singles, she was using that wide lefty serve and really using the spin. Here, she's going more body and forehand than I saw her pretty much all of that match in singles. Good hands by the team of Brantmeier and Kalieva. 2 at the net usually takes 1 at the net and 1 at the baseline, right?
Just defending herself there, Kalieva. And her partner, Reese Brantmeier, doing the end, cleaning up the
finisher.
Yes. Dare I say garbage, but
it's not garbage.
It's not garbage, but you understand.
I do. I get it.
Kind of a little slower.
Kalieva set him up and Brantmeier knocked him down.
There we go.
But Kruger and Montgomery hold. They take a 3-2 lead in the first. That's Reese Brantmeier serving in the far court, and Elvina Kalieva knocking off the volley. We had our first hold there. So Kruger and Montgomery take the lead for the first time in this first set, and the pressure switches to the 16-year-old Brantmeier. Like you said before with Montgomery, that's good positional serving.
Yes, it is. And she has a very different way of serving. Its feet are close together, probably just very little forward and backward motion, but just straight up.
A little Stan Wawrinka-esque. How Stan is very
30-15.
Stiff and straight when he serves, but she can get some juice on it. Not that pass serve, but the one before hit 110.
Concise volleying by these young girls as well. They're not holding back on the serve. On the volley, the pace is at a premium.
double from Brantmeier.
30 all.
And here comes the first real pressure. Remember, Brantmeier and Kalieva were a break ahead each time they were serving. They were leading when they were serving in this set. This is the first time trailing. And Montgomery can crack some returns, as we know.
40-30.
That was her big weapon in the singles final, was especially her backhand return. Incredibly aggressive against her Belarusian opponent.
Game.
And another good first serve from Brantmeier. So we've got back-to-back
3 games
holds.
all per set.
Even Steven at 3-all in the first.
Love.
It's a tremendous return from Reese Brantmeier. Caught Robin Montgomery moving and found the line.
$30-15. All.
That time Montgomery's able to clean up the mess, as you say, Mark, and give her team a game point here at 40-30. There's some strong play from the backcourt from Kruger to force the weak reply, and Montgomery took care of the rest. Montgomery and Kruger have actually, they've played some together already. They won the girls 18s and under national title, which has got them into the main draw of the women's doubles, where they won a match, beating Jessie Pegula and Asia Muhammad, two very well-established players. Asia Muhammad, a former semifinalist in women's doubles here at the Open, and Jessie Pegula having the year of her life before falling in the second round. So that's a nice result. They also won a round in San Jose after getting a wild card into the main draw there. And Kruger and Montgomery take a 4-3 lead here in the first. On serve now here in the first. It's 3-4. Tension starting to build as we get later in the set. This is Elvina Kalieva serving with new balls.
Really comfortable move by Ashlyn Krueger up at net, her partner hitting the approach shot, but it just allowed her to get involved. see the
15
let
all.
court has to be played at junior level.
I'm sure they're used to it. I'm not used to seeing it still.
I'm with you.
Your kind of heart stops. You almost like, you know, you sort of shut off thinking the point, you know, going to get another serve, and it keeps going.
30-15.
Robin Montgomery's going to be upset with herself there. That was right in her wheelhouse. Her favorite stroke is that backhand return. She put it right into the top of the net. Found the seam there, did Kalieva.
40-15.
That looked like a planned play with Brantmeier moving across and Kalieva following behind.
Maybe overdoing the forehand there. Kalieva, her opponent Montgomery was on the baseline. She had plenty of time just to keep the point alive. It was an unforced error.
Kruger was following that return into the net. And here we go. This is a massive moment now in the first set. The difference between 4-all and 5-3 serving for the set.
It looks like they're going to have to serve to the ad court. On a point with I formation, going traditional just here.
And Kruger overcooks the forehand. Cardinal sin on deciding point, misses the return, and it's 4-all. And remember that USOpen.org is your online home for point-by-point live scoring, highlights, real-time stats, and draws. It's got so much more as well. The tournament is nearly complete, but there's still a whole lot of use for USOpen.org.
Looks like a change up by the number 8 seeds when they're returning serve, just to stand back behind the first serve, give themselves a little space to make the return.
Well, not much they can do there because Brantmeier was leaning so heavily to try to protect the backhand side that she got caught with Montgomery going down the tee. That's well done from Brantmeier. On that low skidding lefty second serve. Stayed low and drove through the ball.
And you don't have to do a whole lot. You don't have to figure into the equation that it has to be a blistering return. It's that move forward that I think is that overriding or strong factor in winning the point.
And a double fault at a most inopportune time. And 2 break points coming to Brantmeier and Kalieva now. So now a deciding point for the second straight game. We've already seen how important these points are.
Well, receiver's choice, and I would expect Kalieva to be the one doing the returning here, just to take away that left-handed serve on such a key point.
Montgomery's really good at swinging this down the tee and away from her opponents. Let's see if she goes for that. No, instead she goes outside, as Kalieva may have been defending the tee serve. Montgomery finds the hard, flat one out wide and holds for 5-4. Business end of set number 1 here out on court 12. This is the 2021 US Open Junior Girls Doubles Championship match. 16-year-old Reese Brantmeier serving in the far court at 4-5 to Robin Montgomery and Ashlyn Krueger. Montgomery definitely more comfortable on that backhand return. Really drives into the ball well, and the forehand looks a little less sure of things, and caught that one late.
Lots of offensive play on the return. Both ends of the court might have to consider just tempering some of the returns. We saw 4 breaks of serve to begin the match.
And 4 straight returns that are missed.
5 games all for set.
An easy game, and that's what of course the serving team are going to desire and hope that they can win their serve as easy and comfortable as possible. But as a returning team right now, 5 games apiece, you want to try and make as many returns, keep the ball alive. There we go, the return by Kalieva. Not a clean return, but forcing Kruger to play that first volley.
So far, Brantmeier and Kalieva have done a much better job just making their returns of serve.
Yeah, and at love 30 now. Time for Kalieva. Let's try to get that ball back in.
Which she does, handcuffs Kruger, and suddenly it's 3 break points to the 8 seeds and an opportunity that comes with it to serve for the first set, but they have to convert. That's tremendous play by the team of Brantmeier and Kalieva. First, the reflexes to keep the point going, and then the finishing power. And they'll serve for the first set after they change ends. Elvina Kalieva serving for the first set with her partner Reese Brantmeier. Robin Montgomery and Ashlyn Krueger, pardon me, returning. And the missed returns continue. That's kind of been the story from Kruger and Montgomery. Just late in this set, they haven't been able to find the court.
Yeah, generally when I looking at the stats of a doubles team. It's more about the returns into play and their win percentage when returning, their opposition's second serve. And just at the moment, there's been some more balls put back into play by the number 8 seeds who are serving at 6-5 and 30 love, 40 love now. There's another just, I think that's got to be 5 consecutive returns from Montgomery that have just handed back very cheap points.
Robin Montgomery, the 2021 U.S. Open Girls Singles Champion, is going to need to put a return in play here to keep this set going, barring a double fault, obviously. Brantmeier might want to have that one back eventually.
It looked like she was starting to go back onto her heels, and then all of a sudden the ball was there and had to make that shift her body weight forward and snatched at it. It's easy to do.
But a missed return from Ashlyn Krueger gives the first set to Reese Brantmeier and Elvina Kalieva, 1 set away from the Junior Girls Doubles Championship on court 12. 1 + 1 is greater than 2 in doubles if you do it right. I think that's what you're getting at, right?
There's 2 of you. You don't win it singularly. There's 2 of you there.
Love 15.
And I can't help but wonder if just the emotional high of winning the singles title earlier today, just a few hours ago, is playing a little bit of havoc on Montgomery's psyche at the moment, because there's no doubt there's going to be an emotional letdown. And we've seen a lot of misses off of the Montgomery racket that, quite frankly, we didn't see in singles, and we haven't seen in the doubles draw so far. And I'm wondering if maybe Kruger, it's her job now to sort of get her going, pump her up a little bit.
Exactly, that's the partnership. When someone is not seeing the ball so well, the other one, Kruger, in this instance, needs to maybe shoulder a bit more of the load.
Out. 40-15. Game, Kruger, Montgomery. First game, second set.
So Kruger and Montgomery pick up the hold. First game, second set. Brantmeier and Kalieva took the first 7-5. Well, that's a better sign for the team of Brantmeier and Kalieva.
Love 15.
Excuse me, for the team of Kruger and Montgomery, to see Montgomery pounding that backhand return, getting it in the court, setting up her partner.
Love 30.
It's amazing the things that can happen when you actually put the return in play. We haven't seen that in a while from Kruger and Montgomery.
Well, and this is the juncture right now for Montgomery. Really, you don't have to overplay. Put the ball back in and invite Kruger to maybe be active up net.
Or give yourself an
40.
opportunity to just tee off on a backhand. Kalieva looked like she was just trying to fend off in some way. There was a lot of heat behind that.
Risky, but in this occasion, it actually pays off.
I know it didn't work out, but I got to say, I hadn't seen Kruger hit a little
15-40.
chip lob return yet. Even though they didn't win the point, I think it was nice to just show them that it's there.
Keeps them honest.
It's also better than missing a return. We've seen so much of that. I don't want to harp on that too much. But
Out. 30-40.
all right, still 2 more break chances for the 3 seeds, Kruger and Montgomery, to take a lead here. In set number 2, it was the 8 seeds, Brantmeier and Kalieva, who won the first 7-5.
Game, Kruger Montgomery.
And there is the break of serve.
Kruger Montgomery lead 2 games to love. Second set.
Okay, so the hard work for Kruger Montgomery is in this next game to try and consolidate the break, maintain the break at least, and go to 3-love.
That's some big overheads from Montgomery. And not easy this time of day. You can see the shadow. That sun is actually in a left-hander's way at this time of day. She hit those 2 with confidence.
I'm glad you're now just realizing that when we've had a hit that I'm always up the other end where I'm not looking into the sun, Russell.
Well, no, I noticed it because I'm the one looking into the sun since we're both lefties. We can't play the lefty-righty game. You just take the side without the sun. I noticed it. I just don't say anything. I'm trying to be polite to the Hall of Famer.
15 all.
But I do bring the balls and the water and the towel.
Yes. You're
Contribution.
But that is one of the practical advantages of playing with a lefty-righty.
There you go.
One of many, I would think, on the doubles court of playing with lefty and righty, not just keeping the face out of the sun. You can choose to put forehands in the middle if both of you volley better that way, or go the other side if you both have better forehand returns.
Yep. Elements come into play. The sun, the wind as well. Nice move by Montgomery. You know, to be active.
30 all.
We haven't seen a whole lot of the movement up at net from that net player.
I know this is only their second service game of the set, but already the team of Kruger and Montgomery putting a lot more first serves in play in this set than the first.
Deuce.
This is a moment
Deciding
Kruger
point, receiver's choice.
showing a little bit of poor body language after that point.
Game. Kruger, Montgomery.
And there's the hold. They had to bear down Kruger and Montgomery,
lead
and they
3
did
games
just
to
that,
love.
consolidating for a 3-love lead in the second. Kalieva serving at love 3 in set number 2. And one of the hallmarks of Montgomery's game, doing the research on her, is her ability to make mid-match adjustments. So in singles, she will start serving and volleying if she feels like it will help her. She's turned matches around by changing tactics. It's a great quality to have, obviously, but I think we're seeing it a little bit here where she missed so many returns at the end of the first set. She hasn't missed a return now in the last 2 return games, and she's not going after them. She's just trying to get the ball back. And it's paying off as they're up a break.
Touch.
Well, she kind of went after that.
30-15.
She had some pace to work with, too.
And that's clearly a premium return there. So the question, begs to be asked of how often do you hit outright winners in doubles? And
40-15.
And there's a missed return from Montgomery and a hold
Game, Brantmeier,
by
Kalieva.
Kalieva
Ball
and
change,
Brantmeier.
please.
But it's still a 3-1 lead for Kruger and Montgomery as they serve.
Kruger, Montgomery
And the
lead,
tournament's
3
going
games
to wrap
1.
up tomorrow,
7 sets.
but you can still get the gear at usopenshop.org. That's the official shop for the 2021 US Open merchandise. And it's not just clothing, it's cups and caps, and you can even get the honeydew cups that they sell here.
towels.
You can get the official towel. You can get shot glasses and keychains. There may even be stuff for your pet on there. Go to usopenshop.org. Rob
15
Montgomery is a product of the Junior Tennis Champions Center in College Park, Maryland, just outside of Washington, D.C., which is where Montgomery is from. She's been playing there since 5 or 6 years old. And this has already become a special day for that place, as they've now produced a U.S. Open Junior champion. And Robin continues to mentor younger players that are there. She spent all the time during COVID working out at home there. She was mentored by the older players, including a guy named Francis Tiafo, who literally grew up in that facility.
Good job.
He considers Robin to be like a little sister to her. And check this out for the maturity of a young
15-30.
Robin Montgomery. When she was 9 years old, she won a national essay contest, actually the Arthur Ashe USTA essay contest. And in it, as a 9-year-old, she wrote how girls in countries who aren't allowed to play sport need to be opened up to sport so they can learn the things that she learned playing tennis, like being disciplined, prepared, dedicated, and determined. That from a 9-year-old. That's a pretty amazing perspective for a kid that age. That's terrific hands by Kalieva. And now 3 break points for Kalieva and Brantmeier to get back on serve here in set number 2. Well, here we go. Another deciding point. This will be the 3rd of the set. And both of the other 2 have been won by Kruger and Montgomery, which allowed them to take this lead. This is a big swing point in this match.
Looking to take it on the ad court this time.
And a big hold for Kruger and Montgomery to maintain that advantage. They lead 4-1 in the second. Brantmeier and Kalieva took the first. Brantmeier and Kalieva under the gun at 1-4 in the second. Oh, and Kalieva had that move lined up and just opened the face of the racket and sailed it long.
And with the way that the scoring system is in place for us, I think the momentum, you can be behind in that first set. Once you pick up a break in the second set, as the number 3 seeds have, points now are really in their favor. Succinct type of play. And you can carry it into a tiebreaker because now the finishing line is not that far away. Given if we go to a set of a piece, we'll be playing a tiebreaker to finish the match. And you can carry that momentum into the tiebreaker as well.
And that's well done from Kruger, returning and moving forward.
Montgomery lead 5-1.
And it's 5-1. They'll serve for the second, hoping to force a match tiebreak, or championship tiebreak, if you will.
From a different angle, the return coming forward, and she doesn't hesitate. There's a little, rebalance move, but she continued moving forward, Kruger.
15 love.
And that's a let ace. Remember, the lets are good. Montgomery and Kruger are literally the bigger and stronger team. Maybe not necessarily the stronger players per se all the time, but they hit the ball harder. They are bigger human beings. And I think that goes to what you were saying. They like the shorter points. They want to smack 1-2 balls and be done with it.
When they both arrive up at net, it has to be such a difficult view for the opponents, given their height advantage, the reach. Montgomery just taking a step across and covering the middle ball.
30-15.
This game turned around in a
30
hurry.
all.
Yeah, and they have to be careful and conscious that the momentum that they've created and are riding right now can end quickly. You don't want to give up cheap points. There we go. Finds the first serve.
40-30.
And here comes a set point. Two of them coming should they need them for Kruger and Montgomery. All right, here comes a deciding point. It's a break point and it's a set
Deciding
point.
point, receiver's choice.
That's a beautiful
Okay.
dropper by
Brantmeier,
Kalieva. So there's a break.
Kruger, Montgomery leads.
Set's
5
not
games.
over yet. Brantmeier and Kalieva will serve at 2-5 in the second, having won the first. Elvina Kalieva will take the ball to serve at 2-5. Brantmeier and Kalieva just saved a couple of set points from Kruger and Montgomery. And there's the missed return
15 love.
from Robin Montgomery, whose improved percentage of made returns really is what changed this match around a little bit in the second set after missing so many in the first.
30 love. Oh. 30-15. Out. 40-15.
You said it, Mark. Momentum can shift quickly with this scoring system. We're a point away from 3-5, and the pressure's starting to build on Kruger and Montgomery. And there is the hold.
Game. Brantmeier, Kalieva. Kruger, Montgomery
So
lead. 5
Kruger
games to
Montgomery
3.
will get a second
Second
chance
set.
to serve for this set. They had a couple of set points on their serve before. But I got to think they're starting to get that little tingling in the back of their head like, oh no, can't give this up. Had a big lead.
First few points.
And that's well done. First serves are big too, right?
Yeah.
15 love.
First serve and the first volley, nice and crisp.
Love. 40 love.
All right, no issues holding there at love. Here we go, Mark.
Kruger Montgomery, 6
Match
games to
tiebreak
3.
upcoming.
1 set all. Ladies
Championship
and gentlemen,
tiebreak.
following a set break, a 10-point match tiebreak will be played to decide the match.
Here we go, first to 10, win by 2. The 10-point tiebreak, there's
Match
a little more
tiebreak.
ebb and flow.
Reese Brantmeier to serve.
This is Reese Brantmeier.
One zero, Kruger Montgomery.
And that's the beauty of the 10-pointer, is losing a point on serve early on. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not as cutthroat, but still momentum counts.
One all.
Maybe just over playing that shot. It's ball just sat up nicely for Kruger. Trying to do too much with it.
That's a good response, and another big first
2-1,
serve.
Kruger Montgomery.
Ooh.
3-1, Kruger Montgomery.
Brantmeier trying to get involved there. Help out her partner serving. Oh, and I think Russell Brantmeier was just hesitant to
4-1,
go
Kruger
back and
Montgomery.
maybe dip her foot in the well there, or toe in the water, having missed the previous volley. It's a bit of hesitation, and then a mistake by Kalieva. That's a handy 4-1 lead now for the 3 seeds.
Make it 5-1 as they'll change ends. Remember, this is first to
5-1,
10, win
Kruger
by
Montgomery.
2. Kruger and Montgomery halfway home in this match tiebreak to taking the title. That's 2 big first serves from Robin Montgomery.
6-1,
Once again,
Kruger
Robin Montgomery
Montgomery.
earlier today won the junior girls singles title. Should she double up, she will join fellow Americans and International Hall of Famers Lindsay Davenport and Jennifer Capriati as 2 Americans who have swept the singles and doubles in the junior event in the same year. Davenport 1992, Jennifer Capriati 1989. They both made a pretty good career of it. Better than most. But it's not over yet.
6-2, Kruger Montgomery.
No, it's certainly go a long way for Brantmeier to hold her 2 serves. That's 1 point for her team.
Nice work by Kalieva, patrolling the net.
6-3, Kruger Montgomery.
So closing the gap. Scoreboard looking a little brighter for the number 8 seeds. Now if they can just find the returns.
That might have been the point of the match.
Yes, Montgomery
7-3, Kruger Montgomery.
alert. With that one, it just goes over, but the racket is out in front. She's not tensing up for this second volley.
That's a big first serve
8-3,
from
Kruger
Ashlyn
Montgomery.
Krueger, and now the finish line is in sight. 2 points from the championship. And we have championship point
9-3,
coming on court
Kruger
12.
Montgomery.
They will change ends, and Brantmeier and Kalieva will have a chance to talk it over. They've got a big hill to climb here. That's one saved with a huge
9-4,
forehand from
Kruger
Kalieva.
Montgomery.
Bringing the heat out with that forehand. Not a lot of landscape for her to drive that ball into.
And Kruger cuts it off
Montgomery.
to finish it off.
5-7, 6-3, 10-4.
Ashlyn Krueger, Robin Montgomery, your 2021 U.S. Open Junior Girls Doubles Champions. And Robin Montgomery has pulled off the double, winning the singles and doubles titles.